Hello everybody. Ooh. Hope everybody's feeling good. Feeling better. Not feeling 100%. It's like it comes in waves. Like I'm feeling good, and then I'm feeling crappy, then I'm feeling good. And a lot of people are getting this, so it's not the only one. I thought I was special. Turns out I'm not. A lot of people are getting this. Anyway, so I've been wanting to come on for a while, just to do a solo show. I was on with Dr. Gale yesterday. I think it went good. I was like, I'm still kind of out of it, so I'm not sure really what I'm saying. And sometimes when you do work when you're sick, when you do creative work when you're sick, you can't worry about anything but just standing up and doing, like saying lines or saying something, or you can't really think too much because your brain is like focused on standing straight up, being healthy. So sometimes you do your best work when you're sick. So we'll see. I think it was a good show. But I wanted to come on because the last video I did on Friday, and I am going to be hitting pause a lot because if I have to cough or something, I don't want you to hear that. But last Friday, it was earth-shaking news. I had my phone go off, and I'm going, oh my gosh. And I'm not one for the big headlines, breaking news. What happened? I'm just not that. Sometimes, though, it requires it. That one certainly did require it because my earthquake alarm went off. And somebody commented, you were pretty calm during that earthquake. And I'm thinking back and I'm going, yeah, I was probably pretty stupid as well. Because I'm like, oh, the earthquake alarm, duck, cover. And I'm like, hang on, let me just check it out. Take cover. Yeah. I'm like, what's the matter with me? I'm in this place. I got all sorts of stuff that'll fall on my head. So, and I've been through a big earthquake. That big singing bowl, that'll knock some sense into me. Anyway, so if that happens if you have that app and something like that happens, you only have a couple of seconds. So it would have warned me enough to, I don't know where I'd go, but that's the problem that we are all facing. We don't plan this ahead. We don't practice it ahead. When I was doing training, marine training, they would teach us about if a vessel was capsizing and you were in the vessel, what can you expect? Well, what you can expect is that the top of the boat is now the floor. So you have to shift your whole perception. And they go, imagine, close your eyes and imagine how you would get out of your space if you were walking on the ceiling. That's a tricky one. All right. So, big earth-shaking news. And then I looked at my app today. There's earthquakes from down in South America all the way up to Alaska. Little mini earthquakes, 3.5, 4s. I mean, it's like, whoa, goes all the way over to Japan and down. So it's hitting that whole crust. So it's important that we have our grab-and-go bags. Whether it's going to do any good, it'll make us feel better if we grab it and go. Tsunami watches, please be careful. Anyway, I've been watching tsunami videos. I don't know why they're up on my YouTube. I think of it and it pops up. I'm going, did that feline, like, already put an implant in my brain or my glasses or something? What's going on here? All right, let's move into the news. So I mentioned big news. I'm going, look at all the majors, and I'm not going to go back and look at that. I did get, the Lotus card in there twice towards the end of the reading, and I'm like, internally, I'm not feeling it. Externally, we'll get to that later, because I threw the pendulum on it. But there was so much big news. And I remember one of the astrologers saying last week that this would be a time of a world leader passing. And I'm going, oh, please. Can I pick a name? Didn't happen. So Pope Francis passed. And what, I put that up in my community page. And he was such a breath of fresh air. Now, I know some people push back and go, he didn't do enough. But you look at what man has built and the constrictions that that Pope had to work through. He did a lot. Now I think about the constrictions we're working through in our rebuilding, because he was trying to rebuild the church, I think. And I think back on the U.S., and we're trying to we didn't want to, but we will be rebuilding the U.S. Who's going to have the freer reign? Us. Scary as it sounds. So, but a lot of big news. I have some of it written down on my phone. I don't have it all. The Supreme Court at 1 a.m. What the heck? That was crazy. They skipped. So I don't know if you guys got this. So the ACLU went to Boasberg. Boasberg said, this is not in my jurisdiction. It's in Texas. So they went to Texas and they went to the Court of Appeals, I think. I may be wrong on this. And the Court of Appeals would have said something, and then the ACLU would have pushed it up to the Supreme Court, which would have been Alito, whether he would bring it to the full court. But what happened was they skipped the Court of Appeal and Alito, and SCOTUS at 1 a.m. said, hey, Pumpkinhead, I'm going to take some seeds out. Stop. Take some seeds out. Ay. Okay. Uh-oh, that was not an earthquake. That's good. Oh, maybe it was. Just another warning. Okay, so what did we get? I got to go back to Texas. I must have said something that I thought all Texans were crazy and evil and bad. Not true. Just the drivers. They're crazy. And everybody seemed to agree. Yeah, Texas drivers are way worse than LA drivers. And I go, how can that be? I'm always surprised. So what do we have? SCOTUS ruling, huge. All the demonstrations, huger. We're not going back. This is a big ass movement. The first time nobody was talking about it. This time, all the news. I was so good at hitting pause. This time, the So the mainstream news wasn't really covering it a lot. This last weekend, mainstream news had it a lot. In my little town, it went 3 blocks. I'm like, yeah, I want to be there, but I was sick. So I get in the car and I'm honking my horn. Here's 2 Teslas following me, and they're honking too. I'm like, yeah, it sucks to be you in a Tesla. And I hate saying that. You know, because a lot of people jumped on board with Tesla. I would have when he was like out of politics, when he was sane. They're now changing the badges. And I've seen one with like a Subaru badge on it, and I tell you what, I go, wow, that's a Subaru, that's so cool. Fakes me out. So, but then again, you know, I'm a Lambo guy. All right, sorry. What else we got? Oh, Joe Rogan saying that Pumpkinhead's plan is crazy. Stock market just plummeting. Now, Tesla's going to do something at 1 p.m. after the markets close. They're going to give their first quarter earnings. That should be interesting. Tesla's going up, yet Tesla's stock price is going up, yet their profits are going down. .com bubble. Y'all remember that? Nobody was making any sense out of it. Okay. Hegseth back in the news again. Woohoo! Woohoo! All right. So we're going to see where this reading goes. It's going to be a little organic, and it's going to be a little short because I don't think my voice will hang on. So, 12:15 intro. So let's get into the energies of this current week. I posted on my community page that last week was really big. And this week coming up is going to be bigger. And I'm so tired of saying that. I'm so tired of hearing that from certain astrologers. Although I haven't listened to astrology this week, so I'm not sure where they on that. But I love the fact that we all like layer in on each other's information. But Lori, the positive wave, she's texting me. Duck and cover. Hang on. Okay. Sheila and Lori are texting back and forth because we're going to be doing the 3 of us again on Sheila's channel. It was supposed to be on mine, but I didn't know if I was going to make it. It's supposed to be on mine yesterday. Yesterday? I don't know. Maybe it was today. I don't know. But anyway, it'll be tomorrow, and I think it'll be okay. However, getting back to the energy of this week, it's going to be really crazy again. But we are, and my intuitive sense is that it's all going to be good. We can make it as good as or bad as we want it to be. So if we're focused on every little bit of news, Hegseth Signal Gate, who cares as long as he goes? Which I think he will be going. We could look at that, but who cares? Not so much me. I mean, you think of it, he's got more tattoos than an MS-13 guy. You know, these projections that these guys throw out, it's so obvious. So obvious. Okay, so the message that I put in the community page was really, really, really take care of yourself. So I wanted to throw some cards, the energy cards that I normally do. And so what I'm using is, the decks that I'm using are Through the Eyes of Soul for this. It's a Shasta one and a Starseed Oracle. I thought that I was going to grab a Lemurian, because they've been on my mind a lot. But I got this one, Through the Eyes of Soul. So let's just see, let's drop this down and see what we can get. Okay. Oh. See anything new? Hello, dragon. Look, I got a little dragon coming out of an egg. Thank you, Nancy. So Nancy Jean gave this to me. Look at that. Look how cool. Nancy Jean gave this to me when I went down to Dallas. It was in this egg. Okay. Quit the chit-chatting, Danny. Yeah, quit the chit-chatting. Oh, dragon voice. Okay. Hey, have you met Psychic Duck? Oh, yeah, we're good friends. Really? Yeah. Say hello to Psychic Duck, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi, dragon. Hi, duck. Ah, isn't that so cute? See, if they can get together, I think we all can. Okay, let's look at the energy. I said it's really important for us to take care of ourselves in the community page. This week, I think it's going to be super, super important. First card we get. Shift happens. Stabilize your energy fields. That's beautiful. When I flipped this over first, I saw Pope Francis. And this shift happens is about the world. Happy Earth Day. The other big shift that happened last week that we didn't hear about is the Gaia spaceship. It was, it's similar in a way to the James Webb spaceship in that it was taking pictures of the galaxy, of the Milky Way and beyond. And so it ran out of juice. They had to set it down. They put it around the sun. When I say put it down, they had to shut it down. They gave it its last commands. It's going to zoom around the sun till I guess it burns up. However, they have they said up to 3 years of imaging that they have to look at. So super successful. And the discoveries that are going to be made from Gaia are going to be amazing. So happy Earth Day. Let's do what we can to balance things out. Stabilize our energy fields. A new door is opening. Step over the threshold. So this is really interesting to me that this I have not looked up who these paintings represent, but this is when we step into a new house, when we go over the threshold of a new place. We're either excited or we're scared. I mean, if it's a fun house, it's good, but even those crazy fun houses, they try to amp you up a little bit. So this is just exciting. We get to peer around, look in different rooms, get to see what's going on in this new place that we're going through. And it's trusting our intuition, too. With this hawk or falcon. But we do have the strength of that. And we can fly above and see above the noise that may be happening as we walk over the threshold. We can look above and maybe not notice the little scratches in the floor or anything. And then we have the Starseed Oracle, and this is water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. And so for me, this is all about taking our higher vibrational energies and dropping them back down into Gaia so that Gaia can recharge us as we recharge Gaia. And on this Earth Day, that's perfect. That's perfect. So we can set our little chakra feathers on. So when I was down at Texas, I saw Anne Marie, who makes these chakra feathers. She gave me a Lamborghini book. They're so fun. All right. And I was talking about Anne Marie and Nancy Jean being so fun. But then again, Lamborghinis are a lot of fun too. They're just fun to look at. All right. Okay. So let's get into a little bit of the energies of the week. I can't go into specific things because it's just so crazy, right? It's just so nuts. But this rebuilding, we can go into that. But let's just take a look at the energies of the week. We'll do a spread on that, see how big it is. Are there any revelations in the U.S. that we need to know about? In the world that we need to know about? And what I'm looking for is revelations in compassion. And or are we still in the destructive mode of this just negative cycle? On my Sunday with Spirit, I said something about the amusement of polarity. When we get done with the amusement of polarity, and I got that quote from the Prism of Lyra book. And I thought, the amusement of polarity, I'm not having any fun with this. And then I think, oh, maybe I am. The amusement of polarity, the enjoyment of picking a fight. My neighbor loves to pick a fight with me, loves to throw out little jabs, left-wing jabs, trying to own the libs. Yeah. Okay, so what's the energies of the week? What's the energies of the week? Okay, we're gonna... energies of the week. Okay. Isn't that good? No tower, though. So, oh, sorry, I should have hit pause. Let's drop it down. So we have a new emotional start with the Ace of Cups. Something, this looks like it's an angelic gift coming to us. And this gift is raining in on, it looks like a pond that has lotuses on it. Just saying. I said I'd talk to you about Kamala Harris later on, but it'll be after this. So we have this new way forward being offered to us angelically. And it's being covered by the Empress. Okay, a little digression, if I may steal somebody's phrase. So, because of what Pumpkinhead has done with all of these executive orders, he keeps going, I wrote another executive order. I'm like, oh, jeez. Haven't you run out of that roll of toilet paper that you're writing this stuff on? He'd be sitting on his throne. Another executive order. Okay. Okay, I'm sick, so cut me some slack. I'm sick. Is she gonna have to be, if he's like playing like the emperor, is she gonna have to play like the empress? Whatever is being offered here, are we gonna be, is the emperor gonna be replaced by the empress? Or is this a Russia thing? Or is this, in the traditional sense of the card, abundance, knowing how to rule, care for the land, clean water, so we'll find out as we go on. Okay, let's keep going on. As we go down, what's the base of the energy? Is this? It's walking away from what no longer serves us, going out to find oneself without this emotional baggage that we've been dealing with. This feels like us. It feels like me anyway. I want to walk away from the emotional baggage of this politics and leave it for somebody else who is strong. I'll still go do the protests. I'll still walk around and see if, or at least drive by, honk my horn if I'm still sick. But it's walking away from what no longer serves us. So somebody could be walking away. We have the Knight of Swords in the past, fast-moving action. That certainly could have been Pumpkinhead's fast-moving Doge action. At the top of the reading, we have secrets. We have the High Priestess. Between the pillars of justice, there's some secrets that are coming out. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, which is loss. It feels like we're having more and more financial issues coming up. The stock market, I know, is not the economy, but it is a good indicator of how businesses are feeling. And with all this tariff stuff, they're scared to death. We have the Queen of Wands in the internal position, and she is working diligently. Is this Avril Haines? Is this Letitia James? I love that she's not backing down at all. There's some powerful woman that's working really, really hard in this week that we'll see. The challenge and the hopes and fears is, what do they do? What cup do they pick? Well, if they ask me, pick that one, because that one looks like it's glowing from God. This is a message from the angels. So that's what I would pick. I'd pick that one. Where's this go, Empress? Hopes and fears is they'll be too lost in confusion, too lost in doubt, too lost not picking the right one. When they get to the final outcome, we get the King of Wands. So we have the King and Queen of Wands teaming up together internally and then in the final outcome. and it's got to do with secrets being revealed. This is going to cause some heartbreak. But it's not going to end anybody. They're still going to be standing, but they're going to have to defend themselves against all of this. They're a little restricted in their ability to move. He's getting beat up, this fella here. So when I said this restricted, I thought of, the Pumpkinhead administration. Let's see if we can get some clarifiers. That's not. Hang on. So I'm using my One World tarot from the person that I stole a little digression line from, Dr. Lena Rodriguez. So who is this heartbreak for? Who is being restricted a little bit from this big information that's coming from the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands? This isn't low-level information like a whistleblower. Another big news that came out last week. This is singular news that just adds more to this. Who is this heartbreak for? And who is the person standing? Beat up. Who is that? Page of Swords. Young fighter. Taking fast action, legal action. Ooh, the Empress. Over the Empress. And the Ace of Cups. Oh, now I need Dr. Lena to help me interpret this. What the heck? So, I'm going to pause this and try to focus on what this means. Okay. I'm still not clear on the heartbreak and the restriction. Some of the message, because these cards are so similar to what we have here. Ace of Cups, the Empress, the Knight of Swords, but here we have the Page of Swords, the Empress, and the Ace of Cups. So it feels like to me intuitively that this king is going to bring powerful, compassionate news. This is not a Pumpkinhead card by any means. The heartbreak that is being felt by Mother Earth, it's going to be kind of reined in a little bit because all of these EPA restrictions are going away. So that's going to be reined in a little bit. We have a new beginning, a new emotional start with this. And are we going to be heartbroken when we see the damage that has been done? And there's going to be some young challenges with this to fix this, to change this. I keep thinking of the new president and how she is going to deal with all this. Is she going to have to do all these executive orders that'll just be flipped again? She's going to remove all of Pumpkinhead's executive orders. Okay, for those of you who are still here, Let's get into some conspiracy theory, election denialism. And I have pulled out my deck that has She of the Lotus in it. We'll just see. So I did a pendulum reading 2 nights ago right before I went to bed, which is always kind of a bad time, especially being sick, because then I'll stay up too much and think about it. So I was feeling like really down. I'm going, I sensed so much change, so much energy. It was after the demonstrations that we had. Oh my, this thing is jumping all over. Hang on, hang on. Okay, I think I fixed it, It's kind of weird. It starts jumping when I'm going to talk about the Lotus, the She of the Lotus, and it's still jumping now, so I don't know. So I did this pendulum because I'm going, why isn't she out there speaking? We have Susan Murkowski out there going, yet the threats are real. We have, I think somebody else came out and said that. But anyway, for me, it's like, and I hear you guys, I hear you. She's been threatened. She's under fire. She's afraid of her life. I hear that. I still think that there is a way to talk. AOC's talking. Bernie's talking. Why isn't she? So that's my rub. I'm going. So I'm talking to my wife, and I said, if she comes back, because I still hope she does. I go, would you vote for her? She goes, no. I'd twist her arm. I'd make her vote. Anyway. I go, yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, if there was somebody else there, maybe I would vote for somebody else besides her. Because she hasn't been present in this fight. She hasn't been. So I threw the pendulum on it, spun it around, and I said, is Kamala Harris going to be the next full president, not like an interim president, but the full president of the United States? Yes. Oh. How can that be? So then I asked, when she comes out to say she's going to be running for or doing something, will she explain her absence so that everybody can understand and get aboard? Yes. Okay. I put the pendulum down and I went to sleep. That's pretty cool. All right. Kamala Harris. Sorry. I really hope this video smooths out, because it's really jumpy on my end. 3 cards. Kamala Harris. What are you looking at for the next 2 weeks? Kamala Harris, what are you looking at? What can we expect from you in the next 2 weeks? Still sticking with my One World Tarot deck. Kamala Harris. A fight. Come on, camera. A fight. Legal issues. She's the prosecutor. And look, Lori's owl is sitting on that throne. Huh? the Nine of Wands. She got pretty beat up. People are still going, yeah, she should have done this, should have been. She really ran a lousy campaign. People are still talking about that, and I'm going, you guys are missing the big point. She won. She ran a great campaign. Anyway, she's still standing. She's kind of beat up. Her arm's in a sling. Her foot is in a brace. Ready to go. She's got a little growth on the chin, too. Kamala, come on now. This camera sucks. It's bouncing up and down. Four of Wands, celebration. White House celebration. This doesn't look like it's a false celebration, because you have all these people that are watching, that are going, Mazel Tov. Yay, yay, yay. So I'm going to pull 3. I want to just pull 1. See if I get She of the Lotus. But I'm going to pull 3 because I don't trust myself. Okay. 3 cards. Kamala in 2 weeks. She's got a new life force energy. Something happens. Dolphins. I think she's stepping out. I think she's going to shine her light. No, She of the Lotus. At the base, crystal eyes, keys. Yeah. No. Oh well. That would have been cool, but it wasn't. The last video that I did on Friday, I pulled 2, and last card on both of the readings was Kamala. Okay, so she's got some new life force energy. She will be stepping out to shine her light. Please. Please. And this is all about what we can build. The infinite. It's like not having these boundaries anymore. There are no boundaries. She gets to start all over. She gets to rebuild democracy. I wonder what she's going to do with the Supreme Court. If it were me, and it's not, and I'm glad it's not, but if it were me, I'd have Duck speak for me. Yeah. Have me speak for you. What would you do to the Supreme Court? Oh, hell, well, if I was president, I could do anything, so I would fire their asses. Really? Yeah. Which, all of them? Some of them. Alito and that other guy. Who's the other guy? Well, pick one. Okay. You talking about Thomas? Yeah. What about the guy who likes beer? Well, I got an affinity for beer myself, so... Okay. So you'd let him slide? For now. Okay. All right. Psychic Duck usually has the last word, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your comments. I am reading them all. I am. I'm so late with all of this stuff. Anyway, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow on Sheila's channel. I think it's going to be live. Peace and love.